Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Brose back with another YouTube video on Raid Shadow Legends. Excited to get into this one. Haven't done one like this in a while. So there's new champs in the game, and I just want to go over their kits. Nothing crazy. Looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They look pretty cool. I'm assuming, oh, 5. Okay, so there's 5 new champs. One of these, I'm assuming, is just a placeholder, not in the game yet. I'm honestly not sure, but let's go ahead and just look at these 5 new champs, give my opinion on them, and see what we think. So the first one that I'm going to go through is the Shadowkin. This is taking a while to load up for some reason. That was weird. Arashi the Riptide. Looks pretty plain, in my opinion. I'm not in love with this. I mean, he honestly looks like a rare almost, not even an epic. I feel like he's literally Assassin's Pops or something. I don't know. Anyway, don't have to look good to be good. So let's see what we got going on here. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 75% chance of selling 1 random buff. Cannot be resisted if he's under Veil or Perfect Veil. So that's okay. Let's see if he has any Perfect Veil or Veil in his kit. Attacks one enemy will ignore 25% of the target's defense as well as shield and strengthen buffs. Will also ignore stone skin buffs. Oh wow. If under Veil. So you definitely want this guy under Veil. If this attack kills an enemy, increases the duration of all buffs on the champion in 1 turn. Single target HP nuker. My experience with HP nukers outside of the god tier ones like Narcisse and Tars, mine don't hit that well. Maybe my gear's not that great, but most of my HP nukers don't hit that hard. Other than my King Narcisse, he's just an absolute beast. Okay, so then the A3, 4 turn cooldown, not a 3 turn. Attacks on enemies before attacking. Oh, here we go, Perfect Veil and crit damage on himself. That's really good for the rest of the kit. Attack deals single target damage to each target individually rather than AoE damage. Will ignore 15% of the first enemy's defense. After hitting the first enemy, will hit every other enemy. Following initial hit, each subsequent hit ignores 5% more defense. Stacks up to 35%. For each enemy killed by this attack, increases the champion's HP by 5%. Wow, this is like a... I mean, this reminds me of Harima, right? With the stacking of defense. Same faction made me think of Harima. This, I mean, it's all about multipliers and stuff like that, but wow, this guy's kit it seems fun. Definitely arena focused all the way. Seems like a straight up arena champ. I don't know where else you would use him. Maybe Hydra. This hit could go crazy in Hydra, maybe, depending on how hard he hits. But obviously ignoring strength and stone skin shield. That's arena focus, still in buffs. I mean, that can be good a lot of places, but really, like, that's the only thing in this kit I think that's kind of PvE. Maybe he has a passive. Let's see. At the end of each round, place a Perfect Veil buff on the champ for 1 turn. Has a 20% chance to reflect all damage and debuffs. This champ receives back to the attacker. Wow. If the reflected damage kills an enemy, fill the champ in turn by 30%, places a Perfect Veil buff on the champ for 1 turn. You know what? I mean, if this guy hits hard, holy, he'd be a lot of fun in arena. Like I said, and it's aura. Oh, there you go. There you have it. He's definitely an arena champ. Arena, 28% speed in arena battles. This guy's definitely meant to be used in arena. So, yeah, if he hits hard, I could see this guy being really, really good in arena. Especially if you don't have all the top tier nukers and stuff like that. Me, I have, I've got a lot of nukers. I wouldn't break the bank going for him, but if I pulled him, I'd actually be happy with that. Assuming that he hits hard. So the next one we're gonna go over is the partner to the fusion champ. Here he goes. Moto of the Peel. So I think the aesthetics are cool. The tattoos, and he's based off of Quasimodo, right? Let's get into the kid. He's an attack from Over in Tribe. I can't stand this faction, by the way. So attack one enemy 2 times, 50% chance of placing 60% decreased defense for 2 turns. Books up to a 70% chance. Not bad. AoE stun on a 100% chance. 3 turn cooldown when booked. Place an extra hit on enemies under stun debuff, so he's got the double hitter if he lands a stun. If Esme is on the same team, the fusion, Will always place an extra hit and ignore 20%. Oh, that's pretty. I mean, that's pretty solid. He gets ignore defense 20%, which is big, and always places the extra hit, so he doesn't have to land the stun. So you can build him with no accuracy if you're running him with her, and just go for the kills instead of the stuns. Or you can build him with accuracy and still get the double hit and get the stun. And then attacks on enemies will ignore shield buffs. Damage increases by 75% while attacking enemies under stone skin buffs. Interesting. So maybe he'll melt stone skin, especially if you put the blessing on him to do even more damage to stone skin. So maybe he's here to destroy stone skin. His attack removes one or more stone skin buffs, and he grants him an extra turn. Wow. Okay, well, this could be nasty. If you pop stone skin off somebody, go straight into the A2. Back-to-back AoEs. And then the passive, whenever champion kills an enemy, places a stun debuff on the enemy with the highest turn meter for 2 turns. Let's see here. As many as on the same team, champion skills will ignore 50% of each enemy's resistance. Oh, wow. Their synergy is really nice. Also, if Esme dancers on the same team places an intercept stack on the champion at the start of the turn. That's some really nice synergy. I feel like without her, he's a okay champ. It's not somebody that I need or want. But then when you pair them together, she takes this guy to the next level. I mean, she adds ignore defense. She guarantees this to be a 2-hitter, assuming this move is smacks. Even if it doesn't smack, I mean, that's tremendous. That's a tremendous buff. He starts to ignore defense and hits twice instead of once, without a condition. Well, other than her being on the team. And she doesn't do anything for this move, but this passive is really nice. The ignoring the resistance, you'll get more stuns, and then the intercept stack will, if you land stun, you know, protect you from sheep, or even just, if you're slower, protect you from maybe an Armand sheeping you or something like that, or stunning you. So, I think standalone champ, okay-ish, but with her, that's taking it to the next level. I think he could be really good with her. And brings me to the fusion. Let's check the fusion out. Who, somebody already has her. All 5s. All right. I think she looks really good. Love how she looks. Love the colors. I mean, you know, the outfit. I just love how barbarians look. And she looks like she could be of some sort of royalty in barbarians. I don't know. It looks like she's got jewelry and a little bit of money in the pocket. So this is a support barbarian. This is the fragment champ. Attacks one enemy, places increased attack buff on all allies for 1 turn. Okay, so that would also help out her partner, who's an attack champ. Attacks on enemies. 75% chance place on weaken and block buffs for 2 turns. That's really good. That sounds like a Hydra move. Decreases the turn rate of all enemies by 20%. And if she's on the same team with Moto, she steals it instead. Yeah, their synergy is really nice. And it's on 3 turn, books to 100%. Definitely a great Hydra move. The block buffs and weaken are 2 of the most important buffs in Hydra. And I feel like this is also an arena move because of the second part, still in the turn meter. Not bad. And then she's got increased accuracy, which is always good, and increased speed. 2 really great buffs. 75% chance of removing all buffs from all enemies. And then it's a buff strip. And then she steals it instead if Moto's on the team. So, I mean, she definitely can be good in PvE because of the increased speed. You can always use that almost everywhere. And then the increased accuracy, that helps if you want to just build champs for damage and can't get enough accuracy on them. Like, if you, for Moto, you know, you can build him with more damage, bring her in, she goes first, she maybe strips buffs, maybe doesn't. If she doesn't, you know, he hits stone skin. But you give him the accuracy to land more stuns. I mean, this synergy is nice. And then she like stills instead. And then she pushes turn meter back. So if she's really fast, you can almost, well, stone skin is a problem. So I guess you can't guarantee that he goes, and you can't really get to the A2. But you start out with the A3. Yeah, this is nice. And I actually can still stone skin. I'm looking at this. This is, yeah, she's actually better than I thought at first glance. At first glance, I thought maybe a skip. But as I'm actually reading through the kit and reading through his kit, you know, it's hard to get duos though. unless they make him a guarantee. But if they do, it'll still be expensive. Is it worth it? You know. And their passive is when hit, 50% chance of randomly changing the attacker's critical hits to weak, normal, or strong hits. 30% chance if it's moto. That's a really good passive. Wow. And that's the passive effect. The active is whenever the champion is hit, increases the turn meter of the ally with the highest attack by 50%. Wow. She's a really good support. But I mean, do you bring her in even without him? Do you bring her in over like a great reviver? I guess you could pair her with a great reviver, but I mean, yeah, I'm starting to like her kit. And then all speed 19%. Very solid aura. Like especially like, you know, I said this is a Hydra move. Take her in the Hydra, get the speed boost. She brings the increased attack. She protection set on her could be really good. She could boost the damage. Even a Pharaoh maybe, even though she only brings 2 debuffs, but yeah, I'm actually liking her kit. You know, before this, I thought she was a for sure skip. Also, I'm just kind of burnt out, you know. But actually, I'm a little higher on her than I was before. I mean, I think instead of just saying, oh, she's a full skip, it's now more so like, can you use this champ? I probably will still skip it because I need my block buff champs that I needed. I ended up getting, let me see what this guy's name is here. I forget it. Bells was a guaranteed, and he's got the block buffs and the leech. He doesn't have the weaken, but I'll just pair him with like a Lydia, and then my clan Jest won our siege to get Lamasu, who also is kind of off topic, off track. Was somebody that I really needed because of the block buffs, and block buffs decrease speed is really good. And then she's got a better aura. So like I'm my block buff. I'm basically saying, and I got a Ugo and a Mighty Ugo. I don't like Mighty Ugo, but I love Ugo because of the block buffs drop defense. And then, you know, you just put different champs around these people. But you only need 3 block. I only need 3 block buffs for Hydra. But she is a good arena champ, diffusion and whatnot. But yeah, I'm undecided. But she's definitely better than I thought at first glance. This brings us to the next champ though, since we're here. Why not? This guy looks crazy. What's going on here? Chalco the Blind. I'm not sure where this is from, but it seems like, you know, they like to take stuff from like movies and whatnot and books and like even Alice in Wonderland, right? So I wonder what this guy's from. We could read the lore and whatnot, but I don't think the lore's probably just about the raid version of this champ. But this looks crazy. I mean, look at this head. Holy man. Oh, the back looks really cool though. The back, I don't know what's this on the. Looks like arms or hands. Yikes. Looks absolutely crazy. Does he not have eyes? I'm trying to. I mean, this dude doesn't even have eyes. Oh, it does say the blind. Huh. Got me. All right, let's see. There's a lot going on in A1. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit will ignore 10% of the target's defense. Ignore defense on A1 is nice. It will ignore an additional 5% for each debuff on the target. Also, still 10% of the target's turn meter. This is an insane A1. Has a 50% chance of repeating the attack against another target, except the initial target. Wow, who's under 2 or more debuffs. So you need debuffs out, but if you get debuffs out on people, and if you can set this guy up, even Esme, right? Like Esme's A2, she can drop those 2 debuffs on a team. This guy's A1 is going to go crazy. Attacks one enemy 2 times. First hit places a block passive skills debuff and a decreased defense. Second hit applies a debuff spread, taking all the debuffs from the target and placing them on all enemies. Debuff spread effect will work until the initial target is killed. Grants an extra turn. Okay, so this obviously immediately makes me think of Carnage. This is basically Carnage's, I want to say A3. He does block active, block passive, and then if he kills, his passive like spreads it out. This guy will have an easier time killing people though because of the drop defense. So I wouldn't say it's better, but it's very Carnage-esque, and it's a 4-turn cooldown. But yeah, they definitely just stole Carnage's whole flow. Now let's see what the A3 is. Attack all enemies before attacking place. Increase accuracy buff on this champ. Decreases the duration of all enemy buffs by 2 turns and places 30% decreased speed debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. So he attacks all enemies, but before he gets the increase accuracy. And then I'm assuming So does he hit first, or does he decrease the duration of all enemy buffs first? Because like say they have Stone Skin, does he decrease the Stone Skin first and then smack? It looks like in the order it's well, increase accuracy first. You hit, and I guess you then remove the Stone Skin, and then you place decreased speed. So I'm not sure how this. Man, this is a little confusing. It's on a 3-turn though, which is very good. I mean, decreased speed, 3-turn with increased accuracy. This is a Hydra move, and I feel like his A1 would obliterate Hydra. There's always going to be debuffs out. And you ignore additional 5% defense for each debuff. And you know, you stack the debuff bar on Hydra to 10 most times. I do. Seems like an arena kit for sure, but it also seems like he's got a little bit of Hydra in him. You would just maybe turn this off. You turn off, like if you took him in a Hydra. Well, he has drop defense. Definitely, I feel like this is an arena kit though. So he's got a passive. The champion is immune to stun, freeze, sleep, provoke fear, true fear, and petrification debuffs. Wow, this is just flat out. Okay, this is making it very interesting. Whenever your enemy attempts to place one of these debuffs on this champion, instantly activates Inducer of Panic skill against that enemy. Inducer of... Ooh, that's nasty. This is definitely an arena champ. But even True Fear, right? Like, for Hydra... you know... Yeah, this guy seems... Okay. I'm seeing the vision. Increases damage dealt by 5% for each debuff placed by the champion or an ally. Damage increase resets each time a skill is used on this champion's turn. Okay, so it's. I mean, I don't think this will. Let's see. Let me read this again. The damage increase resets each time a skill is used. I mean, this doesn't seem too significant, but definitely, you know, it'll bump his damage up. And this seems way better in Hydra too, right? Because you got 5 people that'll be taking turns, and they can, you know, maybe stack this up to 50%. Not often, but maybe every 3 turns or so, he'll like get that extra crazy hard smack. And then he's got increased accuracy in all battles by 70. I mean, the champion looks absolutely crazy. Not my favorite looking champ, but the kit, wow, the kit seems fun, man. This seems like, you know, it seems like this is what Void Legendary should feel like or sound like. I love when Void Legendaries get passives because I think they should be like this, like something crazy, something funky. Because some Void Legendaries, like here's one. The passive is Revival and Death. I don't know. It's not bad, but it's nothing crazy. Or can't think of any other voids off the top. But you know, like Hegemon, right? Like he's not the same anymore because of Stone Skin, but always going first. I feel like Void Legendary should have something crazy. I feel like his passive is up there with some of the best. And then we have, oh no, we got a Dwarf Faction champ. Oh wow, and a Dwarf Mythic. Holy, I have not seen this Dwarf Mythic yet. I'm kind of excited. I have seen a video on this guy. He looks kind of cool. I do like the color scheme. I think he looks kind of cool. I mean, he kind of looks like some Lego man or something, but hey. So he's got a 40% chance placing a stun. Attacks one enemy, by the way. The debuff cannot be resisted when a champion is attacking out of their turn. Okay, so counter attack, masteries, or ally attack, I'm assuming. Guaranteed stun. Removes all debuffs from all allies, so full cleanse. Then teams up with all allies. Oh, so he's got the ally attack. On a 3-turn, I think there's only one other person in the game with that, and that is Kreela. So he's the second guy in the game with a 3-turn ally attack. And his is better because he cleanses. I think she just stuns one. And then we have removes all buffs from a target enemy and places a stun debuff on them for 2 turns. Fills the champion turn meter by 50%. Fills the champion turn meter additional 10 for each buff removed from the target. Okay. So just one enemy though. One enemy buff strip. And then a stun. And then a turn meter fill. Which is 50% is pretty nasty. So the buff removal stun cannot be resisted. Oh, that's really good. So you're guaranteed stripping somebody and then taking them out the fight. 2, resets the cooldown of the skill when an enemy is killed while under a stun debuff placed by the champion. Okay. And then if you have 3, allies deal double damage to targets under stun debuffs. I see the vision. So you guarantee the stun with 1, and then if you have 3, they do double damage to that stun, and then it resets the cooldown of this skill when they do the double damage and get the kill. Nice. Nice synergy. And then allies will counterattack whenever they lose 10% or more of their max HP per single hit. If there are multiple champions on the team with the skill, only one will activate. This is really good. This is a really nice passive. I'm definitely feeling like this guy's straight up arena, but this is a move that's good anywhere, right? Like a full cleanse and a ally attack with your entire team. So, I mean, but see the stunning, it just doesn't, you know, like, do you take him in Hydra? I mean, you can't get the, I mean, you get the counter attacks, but you don't get the damage. You never reset the skill. You can't stun Hydra. You can't stun any of the bosses. So, feels very PvP to me. Maybe Siege. Like, a lot of those faction guardians are amazing in Siege. So maybe he's more of a Siege champ. But this, you know, this does save his kit for PvE. Like, you can take this guy almost anywhere because of this move. It's just the rest of his kit is kind of definitely PvP centered, it feels like. So we have, whenever an ally places a fear, true fear, freeze, provoke, sleep, stun, or pressure frequency debuff, fills that champion's turn meter by 20%, occurs once per skill. Off the top of my head, man, I can't think of who has this in the Jorah faction. We'll look. And then whenever an ally is attacked, 50% chance place and decrease resistance and decrease speed on the attacker for one turn. If the ally is under block damage, unkillable, ally protection, or stone skin buffs, the chance increases to 100%. Okay. Does it say and? Oh yeah, it does. Okay, so it's not or, it's and. Decrease resist and decrease speed. And then the final thing is, when you have 3 faction allies at the start of each round, place a stone skin buff on allies for one turn. That is insane. I think that's what makes this what everyone was talking about with this champ. So you can build your champs however you want them. They don't need any protection if they're with this guy. If you bring your arena team, bring 3 dwarfs, bring Trunda, bring Mountain King, bring whoever, Frolny, whoever you have, and you do not need to worry about getting them in lethal and stone skin. You just go straight damage, which is pretty nuts. This is definitely one of the stronger moves. If this is one of the strongest moves out of all the faction champs. Definitely, you know, PvP center, because one turn stone skin, they're gonna help you against bosses and stuff like that. But for PvP, this is crazy, man. I just don't think that the dwarfs have a crazy faction for PvP. And then all accuracy, all battles, accuracy by 60, and in speed by 15% for dwarves. That's pretty good. I mean, who would you use to bring a 4-man team into arena? Anoran is obviously one of the standouts. Torment is great. My Torment is lethal stone skin. I love him. So, you know, if you had Anoran, Torment, and Frolny, you'd be in business. Or even like Goffred. Goffred's, he's really good. But I guess Trunda's probably the best snooker in the faction for arena, unless you're going with Anoran or Frolny. But having a mythic, good luck. And yeah, I mean, but this guy's, I love this guy's kit, but it's, you know, I just feel like the people around him, it's a little tough. I mean, the ally attack would be great with Acrizia for PvE and Trunda for PvE. She's still like the GOAT in Hydra. And then let's get into the last kit. I've not seen this guy. I did not know this guy existed. This is my first time knowing that a new mythic dropped. This thing on his back looks like the faction champ's mask a little bit. Got a ram right here. Looks pretty cool. We got Jorad Wolfheart. Fjord Wolfheart. Some Viking name it sounds like. I know I'm butchering that. He's got the beard, man. He's got the beard belly. Let's get it. Dad bod all day. I always love this aesthetic in games when they put a wolf head on somebody. So he's a support mythic. Let's see here. So he's got a freeze. Target's on a freeze. There will repeat the attack once. So he's got a freeze on a 50% chance, and each hit. This is okay. This is pretty nasty. So he hits you one. He hits one enemy twice. 50% chance. So that's basically 100% chance of my eyes. And then if it doesn't land, he does it again. So he can hit you 4 times if he doesn't land the freeze. So I don't know if he smacks or not, but maybe no accuracy just to get 4 hits. Also a great Fire Knight move, right? Great A1 for Fire Knight. Block debuffs, increase speed on all allies for 2 turns. Decreases the cooldown of all allied skills except the champions by 1 turn. So, so he's got kind of a mini reset block debuffs, which is great always, and increase speed. And then you got attacks on enemies, places a freeze on enemies for 1 turn, and a 30% decrease speed. So he's got increase speed, decrease speed. That's always nice in the kit. If an enemy's from the Galen pack places freeze debuff on him for 2 turns instead, grants an extra turn. That is always amazing to see. You love to see it. So he lands the decrease speed and the freeze, and then he goes right into this, increases your speed, block debuffs, and mini reset. Yeah, that's a nice little like move set synergy. I like that. And then the passive is whenever champion receives a debuff from an enemy, 30% chance placing a free debuff on an enemy for 1 turn occurs once per turn. 100% if it's from Galen Impact. He doesn't like Galen Impact. All right. So it's seems like he's a speed manipulator and wants to CC you with freeze like really bad. Definitely gonna be crazy for Fire Knight though. My God. All right, let's see what the alternate form. Hopefully it looks cool. Oh, this is who was on the picture when I saw 6 people. It was his alternate form, and I think this looks amazing. Wow. I think this looks incredible. Yeah, this is really nice. He actually got tall too. He reminds me of Gizmak, which is one of the only mythics I own on my main account. Gizmak is like a little grunt, and then he grows into this giant. Love it. Definitely what just happened here. So he's HP. I'm assuming he's going to nuke in this form. Attacks one enemy. If this attack kills an enemy, resets the cooldown on one of the champion's random skills. Okay. And then the 2 attacks all enemies, places an extra hit on enemies under freeze, stun, fear, true fear, provoke, petrification. I mean, this guy would be absolutely insane with the Faction Guardian landing a stun. Each hit decreases each target's max HP by 25% of damage inflicted. So he takes max HP. He destroys max HP. Okay. Each hit will also decrease each target's turn meter by 25%. It cannot be resisted if they're under freeze, stun. Okay. So if you're able to freeze, or if you have a stunner or something like that with you, or if somebody putting fear out, yeah, this guy is going to ruin lives. Let's see. Disciple of Torment. I like that. Disciple of Torment. Attacks one enemy will ignore 50% of the target's defense. If the target's under a freeze debuff, 100% of the target's defense. This guy, pair this guy with Torment. Now that I'm thinking about it, just obviously in the name. And holy smokes. Imagine this guy, Torment, and the factions champ with whoever you want to put in the faction. This would be a nightmare to deal with. Absolute nightmare. Freeze places block revive. Wow. I mean, it does require like a lot of setup, but Torment's actually, you know, it's in his passive that he just freezes people that buff and that turn meter boost and whatnot. So it's not the craziest, hardest setup. I feel like it is going to be hard to, unless his passive has freeze in it, go from like Form 1. Another thing is too, man, if Form 1 is like, I would build him as fast as possible with just like a support build. And then this is like clearly the more fun form. So do you build him for damage or do you build him for support? I think I would go damage. I mean, I always tend to lean towards damage over the support. So let's see what the passive has. Counterattacks with Rhyme Cleave skill whenever enemy increases the cooldown of any of this champion skills. Whenever an enemy increases the cooldown of any of these champion skills. And Rhyme Cleave is, oh, it's his A1. And then he goes into resetting the cooldown on one of his skills if he gets a kill. Okay. Definitely doesn't seem like Galathier level mythic to me, at least, or Lazarius, or, you know, like basically S tier, best of the best. But definitely better than, I pulled like I have a Mezamel on my main, or the chicken, you know, like definitely not like their level, or this guy Ashnar. Definitely seems like middle upper tier. So, and he looks cool. I think his transformation is awesome. In his A1 form, 100%, you can Fire Knight Specialist, can take, you know, Hydra, you PvE, I mean, maybe Chimera if you need increased speed, decreased speed, and the block buffs, and the yeah, no, this guy's actually pretty good. Really, really good. He's got the PvE, he's got the PvPs. It looks like he can play everywhere, honestly. So, yeah, that's a pretty cool mythic, man. You know, I hate when they bring in mythics. I also have this guy who is, I mean, look what we think of him. You know, I don't think a mythic should ever be thought of in this light. Like, these are so hard to get, man. I pulled him and Mezimel and a Gizmek. Those are my 3 mythic pulls, and yeah, 2 of them I absolutely just, you know, I want to give them back and get a reroll. So that's unfortunate, but if I pulled the Jorf, I would not be mad. So other than that, guys, I feel like this was a longer video, but I had fun. I'm definitely rusty out of practice. Got to get better with this. Maybe go look at the champs kits before so I can have an opinion, but I just kind of reviewed them on the spot. That was fun for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys are going for any of these champs or want any of these champs, let me know. Personally, I think I'm going to skip the fusion. I might make a video on that later, but I don't have access to the test server. I'm hoping to one day be able to be on the test server and test some of these champs out. That'd be a lot of fun for me, but other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.